welcome to another video from Southbound Paranormal and its only member for now and host, Mike. I decided to do this at the last minute just to talk about a few things. And one of them was just been on my mind lately. I just need to get off my chest before it drove me crazy. First, I'd like to know what you guys think about the intro I made. I did some research and went through the whole YouTube U thing and tried to do it. Because I'm doing this all on my own in my spare time. So let me know what you guys think. Should I change anything? Keep it the way it is? Is it awesome? Does it suck? Well, let me know with your comments below. And before we get any further, I just want to give us some shout outs to Micah, Jenica, Zach, and Matt. And I met this other guy named Zach a couple weeks ago at Old Elton Bridge. You guys are awesome. There's some locals out there that they noticed what I was doing and started asking a few questions, and we did an investigation together. It was awesome. And let's see, what else do we have here? I got this handy little list here because every once in a while I'll just get off topic or go on rabbit holes and just ramble. So just keep myself in a little bit of control here because I'm not so used to having the camera on me all the time. So hopefully the more I do this, the more comfortable I get, and the better all of this will get. So there's a few things I want to talk about, and one of them I'll just get off my chest really quickly because it just bothered me. It has to do with an investigator and investigators like this particular one I was viewing, that like to harp on people that do investigations or are inspired to do paranormal investigations because of TV shows like Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, you name it. I watch them all, so that's me. I like watching everything has to do with paranormal. And he likens these people to the actual TV shows and how they investigate. Well, that's not true. Some of us actually like to think about what we do, and we realize we're going to be going to people's homes and doing investigations sometimes, and to respect their property and not go in there and cause all the drama. And even some of these TV shows and some of these hosts. And let me preface ahead of time, I'm a really big fan of some of these shows like Ghost Adventures. Really love you guys. And I just want to say that ahead of time in case anything I say may come across as negative or not. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just saying. But it doesn't. Just because you watch a show and watch these people do what they do doesn't mean you're going to go out and copycat them. We're not 5 years old. We're adults, And I realize that there are some kids out there that actually do that, and that's not something that you'd want to do. Because even another, again, Ghost Adventures, Zach has admitted that he has gone a little too far on some of his investigations, and it has caused problems, namely spirit attachments. Yes, kids, if you piss off ghosts, which are people sometimes, what are you going to do? If you're one of these spirits and someone pisses you off, what are you going to do? Yeah, you're going to scare them. You're going to follow them around for a while until you're done with them. That's what you do. Or maybe permanently in some cases. Who knows? Anyway, back on track. Aside from that, there's some things that this particular investigators like him go on about is like, if you mix investigations with the metaphysical, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Meaning, using stuff like sage and incense and whatnot and oils to deal with spirit activity or to get rid of it, or you guys, some of you guys have done this. You know what I'm talking about. Well, that same investigator and investigators, if you look on their sites, they have metaphysical equipment, pendulums, Ouija boards, and whatnot. Some of them even employ psychic sensitives. I have no problem with it, but if you're going to sit there and tell me that you're not going to be don't use metaphysical equipment or metaphysical stuff or people, why have it in your list of equipment? And also, there's another issue that I like to take when people try to say, well, we use scientific equipment or use science to prove or disprove activity. Let me tell you something. This isn't science. This is a piece of equipment. This collects data. It's part of a process, but even so, you can not use one of these to prove or disprove activity. Science is a process, not an object, not a thing. It's a process. And science as a process can't prove that ghosts or spirits exist. I mean, sure, you can actually document with this equipment in the process of just going out to a site and whatnot. Does this always mean that every time you get a reading on this is a spirit? No. But I've seen it handy in communication, using in communication. I mean, it proves communication with something, whether it's a spirit or whatnot. But in order for the scientific process to work, you have to get this done repeatedly. Having it done once, that proves it's done once. So, in this particular field, you kind of have to use experience and the documentation process to actually conclude if there's activity. And there you go. I mean, anybody tells you that they use science and point to equipment and saying that's science, no, it's not. It may be equipment that was created using science, but it's just a product of the process. Science itself is a process. There we go. I'll get off my soapbox about that. Anyway. Yes, and on the product of on the product. Sorry. On the idea of that, I just started thinking whenever I had read and gone through that and started thinking about what this guy and what these investigators do, especially specifically with science and whatnot. It's like, I don't know, what I go to the most is because I was a big Sherlock Holmes fan when I was growing up, and I really like the quote from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle is once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, no matter how improbable, must be the truth. There you go. And that can apply to investigations, and it does. Especially whenever you have situations such as some of the EVPs I caught, say like on the camera that I've caught recently where you hear that woman speaking. Well, I'm the only one in that cemetery, and I'm standing maybe feet away from the entrance, and there's roughly about 200 yards of trees in either direction, and there's a clear field of view in that cemetery. I would have seen someone walking up, and especially walking up to the camera and talking into the mic. So it couldn't have been an echo because you would have you would have heard the echo in the mic, and you would have heard the difference in the sound, because you can hear throughout that whole tape, if I ever put it up, or if you have done investigations like this, you know the difference between voices far off and echoing off of trees and whatnot. This was in the mic. It just, and immediately, since I'm there, you can rule out anybody else. And no matter how improbable it is, there was a spirit entity or whatever it was talking in that mic on the camera. So there you go. And I think I'll stop there about that before I get too into it and start rambling on and on and on about that, because it's sometimes like pet peeves like that. I'll just rant and I just need to realize that, you know, people are probably going, yeah, Mike, yeah, you're ranting too much. Stop, you know, and just stop watching. And let's see. I also wanted to talk about why I do what I do. I mean, the reason why I do what I do is because I want some answers, because I know it's cliche because to say that I've had my own paranormal experience, and that left me with a lot of questions. It was more than being spooked by a ghost. I can tell you that much. Possibly when I feel a lot more comfortable talking, I'll let you guys know exactly what that is. But yeah, it's just I still had a lot of questions to this day. What happened to me? It's just, and it got me asking myself, you know, what are these things? What can they do? And why did what happened to me? Why did that happen to me particularly? Was it just me? Was it, you know, the spirit that was just around, maybe, or I don't know. And that, and later on, doing my investigations, I started out at Oakland CA Memorial, and that was around 2012, 2013. And I keep on using and a lot. Sorry. So, yeah, I started at Oakland CA Memorial, did that for a while, on and off, and that's where I got my spirit attachment. His name is Roger, as you'll listen to on my old Spiked Eagle channel. I'll try to get this transferred over to Southbound Paranormal, but I'm not sure when that's going to happen, because I'm doing all this in my spare time and on my days off, so it may take a little longer. Possibly if I get more members to help out with this, I can add people on as managers to help me get this content done. But yeah, I mean, I'll try to link it below in the comments on some of these videos that I have from Oakland CA Memorial with Roger in them, because I did get a lot of good evidence over there. And it's also good, it's a good example of sometimes over investigating, because a lot of times spirits will get used to you, and it's just kind of like people getting used to you going into, say, like a public place, bar or whatnot. Yeah, after a while, they're like, hey, that's Mike. You know, he's coming in having a beer. You know, versus they haven't seen you in a while, and they come in, and they're like, hey, Mike, how you doing? That's pretty much how spirits are sometimes at sites, because you'll sit there and investigate the tar out of the site. You'll go there like every week or every weekend, and they'll get used to seeing you, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, there's Mike. Just let him go about, do what he needs to do, and I don't have anything to say to him. I said all I needed to say. There you go. That may be the case. It may not be the case. I don't know. But I do know from example that over-investigating, you get less and less evidence. Now, if you bring people with you that you've never seen before, yes, you do get more. You do get more responses. That I've witnessed. But yeah, I did that for a while. And Oakland City, and yeah, that was pretty interesting. And what influenced me the most, especially to help out people, was that it was something I wanted to do for a while, to investigate a residence. And I was always a little nervous about it because you're going into people's homes and people you don't know, and it's also vice versa. Vice versa. These people don't know you. You know, are these people going to be, crazy? I mean, not everybody's crazy, but you ask yourself that question. It's like, what am I getting myself into? Am I going to go in there and they're going to kill me or something? Hopefully not. Most of the time, not. And these people are legitimate. They have issues. They need to know if something's going to harm them. But my first investigation, which you guys probably won't see, or probably will see in like little clips and snippets, because these people wanted to kind of remain a little private, so I kind of kept the camera off them and omitted any reference to exactly where we were. And it involved a removal of a spirit. Now, I'd be hard pressed to say it was a demon, because that's a religious reference, because we don't know. I mean, are they demons? Well, we know they're bad, whatever it is. I mean, if you ask it, if it's, it's not going to tell you the truth anyway. If it's trying to assert control, it's going to go, sure, I'm a demon. Boo. So, yeah, and after that, it took roughly about 3 hours, I think it was, because this is a pretty big house, and we had to do the whole cleansing there too. And I had a sensitive with me that was a friend, and still is a friend, and she helped me cleanse the house, and I got to learn how to cleanse a house. That's for sure. I'm not sure if I could do it again. I mean, it's been such a long time, but excuse me. Yeah, did learn a lot, and just to see the relief on those people's faces, because they had, I think it was 2-3 kids, to see the relief on their faces afterwards and in the coming days, that they didn't have to worry about their kids going to sleep at night. And that's a good feeling, I mean, to actually legitimately help someone with something, and then see the product of your research and your efforts come to fruition like that is awesome. Now, that also comes with a little asterisk, because it did go away and it did come back, and that's a lot of times you'll run into that in paranormal situations, because some of these things are people, and if something's adamant about staying in the house, sometimes there's really nothing you can do aside from negotiating with it to leave the house. That's just the truth. I mean, I'm not going to say that I can get rid of a spirit permanently. I may feel that I did, but it's never a sure thing. I mean, sure, it may be, but if it wants to come back and cause trouble, fine. It will. But if you convinced it not to leave and never come back, thinking it's not worth it to come back to this house because they're going to just get rid of me anyway, that's fine. I mean, that it may stay away, it may not. And that's just and that's just what I've learned doing it over the few years that I have done it. I mean, some of you guys may know more than I do, because let's face it, there's no professionals in this field, just a lot more experienced people. And there's been people doing this for 20 years. I've only been doing it since for the past 3-4 years. So let me know what you guys think. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be right. I believe I'm right, but that doesn't mean I am. And yeah, I mean, that whole situation there, again, just inspired me to do more. That and having some background in customer service and customer care and whatnot, that is kind of it's kind of a rush to help people like that. I mean, makes you want to do more, makes you want to put more effort into it because of the relief that you see people get, again, whenever you help them out. But yeah, I believe that's about it for tonight. Hopefully I'll get better doing these videos. I'm just not used to having the camera pointed at me again, so that's that. And again, thank you for watching. Put all your comments below and let me know if there's any improvements. Granted, there's going to be some technical improvements sometime in the future, perhaps. I mean, I'm using one of my investigation cameras here as a webcam. Granted, it has its advantages, but it's a 4x3 screen. I'd rather have the little 16:9 wide camera, but none of my cameras here will do the streaming, so I'll have to get one that does, because these little jobs that you get up at Walmart or Best Buy, they say they're 1080p or 720p, but they're not really. I mean, and most of the time I just don't like the resolution, pretty much. But once I find a camera that does really good, I'll just find one and just use that one instead. I'd rather use this one for investigations. But anyway, again, thank you guys for watching, and have a great night.